Usually, ancient texts feel a bit like museum pieces, safely behind glass and, well, completely predictable.
Yeah, definitely. They feel really static.
Exactly. But Psalm 33 kind of shatters that glass. It shifts violently from this joyful, booming concert to a really dark warning about human power. So welcome to today's deep dive into the English Standard Version of that text. Okay, let's unpack this. Think of it like an ancient symphony.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Right. We open with a massive crescendo before dropping into a quiet, challenging reflection on where you actually place your security.
Yeah, so the poet starts by establishing the sheer cosmic scale. Like, we're hit immediately with a demand for loud shouts and a 10-stringed harp. It's all about human voices and instruments, just, making as much joyful noise as possible.
But then the text immediately juxtaposes our loud noise with divine quietness. The heavens aren't built with hammers or loud machinery. They are made simply by a word and the breath of his mouth.
Yeah, what's fascinating here is the contrast in mechanics. We use words to make melodies and noise. The divine uses words to literally conjure reality.
It's a huge shift. And the imagery for that reality is wild. The poet writes about gathering the ocean waters as a heap and locking the deeps in storehouses. Wait, I'm stuck on this storehouses idea.
How so?
Well, to me, a pantry sounds safe and domesticated. But the ancient sea was terrifying. Doesn't boxing it up like groceries actually diminish the majesty of it?
Oh, no, that's exactly the point. To the ancient mind, the ocean was the ultimate symbol of untamable, deadly chaos. By framing the deep sea as being neatly packed away in a cosmic pantry, the poet is asserting supreme, effortless mastery over the scariest thing known to humanity.
Wow, okay, which creates a massive problem for human ego. I mean, if the creator is casually boxing at the ocean, what does that mean for the kings and generals who think they run the world?
It completely dismantles them. The poet systematically strips the most powerful figures of the ancient world of their agency.
Right, we see the Council of Nations brought to nothing.
Exactly. A king isn't saved by a huge army. A warrior isn't delivered by his own physical strength. Human might is proven entirely useless against that cosmic scale.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The poem zeroes in on a very specific piece of hardware, the war horse, and it calls it a false hope for salvation.
Right, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, a war horse wasn't just an animal. It was the bleeding edge of military tech. It was the ancient equivalent of a tank.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so the poet is making a universal critique of our reliance on advanced weaponry, proving that engineering and muscle cannot manufacture salvation.
So what does this all mean for you today? I mean, you probably aren't betting your physical security on a literal cavalry anymore, but the underlying psychology is exactly the same, isn't it?
Completely. We still cling to the illusion of total control. Today, our war horses are our algorithms, our nuclear arsenals, our tech infrastructure, or just our bank accounts.
Yeah, that hits close to home.
It really does. The text warns us that relying on our own creations for ultimate security is a trap, whether that creation is made of muscle or silicon.
Okay, so if armies and tech fail, where are we supposed to look? The poet points to the eye of the Lord, which is on those who hope in his steadfast love, specifically to deliver them from death and keep them alive in famine.
Which raises an important question, right? What does true deliverance actually look like? We desperately want to build our way out of vulnerability.
Yeah, we want to fix it ourselves.
Exactly. But the poem insists that surviving those personal famines or crises requires trusting in that steadfast love and waiting in gladness, rather than, well, riding into battle on a false hope.
It's a direct challenge for you to identify the metaphorical war horses you might be desperately riding right now.
Absolutely.
Which brings me to one final thought for you to chew on.
Hmm.
We talked about how the text begins, demanding that loud, joyful music. Well, verse 3 specifically commands, sing to him a new song.
A new song.
Right. If an eternal, unchanging power specifically demands a new song rather than just comfortably repeating old ones, does that imply your human expressions of awe must constantly evolve to remain genuine?